Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Mike's Minutes. My name is Mike Dunn, a wealth advisor with IPC Securities. I hope everyone's doing well. And I don't know about you, but I'm itching for the golf courses to open. Hopefully, they will be in a few weeks. Once the weather starts getting better, I just want to golf. So fingers crossed on that. Today, I wanted to discuss advertising and how we all need to be a little bit more cognizant of the fact that all of these companies advertising financial products or services are trying to sell you, and they will essentially say whatever that makes people feel good. Before I go into that, you know the drill. I just want to remind you that the information presented is strictly for educational purposes and not advice, and they reflect my opinion only. So now compliance is happy. Let's dig a little bit further in what we need to be aware of. So these commercials that are on TV allude to the fact that you can retire 30% richer. I'm sure a lot of you know what I'm talking about. Is that true? Maybe. Could I win the lottery? Maybe. Could you win the lottery? Maybe. There are a lot of maybes in life, but what we hear, we can't just believe, because there's always more to the story than that. These commercials discuss saving money on fees really make my blood boil, because as I mentioned, they do not give you the big picture. They're just trying to sell you something, and they'll say things that kind of catch your attention. And you're like, oh, well, if I go for something that's super cheap, I'm going to save money here. Now I'm going to have a whole bunch more money. There is way more to the story than that. So for example, the one that has been on for a while now has two younger brothers talking about, their portfolios, and one brother asks in a very condescending way, "You're not still investing with mom and dad's guy, are you?" I bet mom and dad are happily retired. They've got great retirement savings. They're probably debt free, and most likely they've given their sons money to get started in this part of their life. In my opinion, the discussion about mom and dad is inadmissible in the fee conversation, because what do they have to do with lower fees? Like, what do mom and dad have to do with this whole conversation? Because they don't tell you about mom and dad. They just assume mom and dad are paying high fees and they're screwed. But that's not what I see in the real world. If someone only cares about paying lower fees and not needing financial advice or guidance, then hey, that might be a good client for that company, or that type of client would suit something that's very simple and very low cost. Because usually, not always, but usually you get what you pay for. There are a couple of other commercials out there that suggest saving money on fees will allow you to buy a house faster. I don't know, like, clearly they're not updated in today's market, because for somebody that's looking to get started in the housing market, it's not just saving a few bucks on fees and all of a sudden you can buy a house. I don't know, what rock they're living under, but that's not the real world. If you simply think, though, that saving 1% or 1.5% on fees, that's what they say in the commercials. If you think that those savings will just allow you to buy a house, then I really recommend that you change your mentality on that. How about tax? Is this app or program that these companies are advertising, are they going to help you manage your taxes? Are they going to have conversations with you if your situation changes? I bet most people could make up that percentage that they say they're paying, a higher amount on, just by utilizing RSPs or TFSAs or managing their tax better. I bet you they could save that amount of money just doing the right thing. So their fees are almost irrelevant in that situation. These commercials just tell you that the people who are paying less fees are doing better in life. I mean, if you look at the one with the brothers, the one guy who apparently is paying less fees, he kind of presents himself in a better way. And the guy that is paying higher fees, he's kind of mopey and kind of down. That's just a tactic that they use to make it look like the person who's saving fees is in a better situation. I just don't believe that. That's just not true. So this really brings me to my point, which is fees are only part of an overall conversation. When I talk to my clients about investing and working together, we talk about fees. Like, it's very transparent. You can see them on your statements. And some of these commercials make it look like advisors don't even talk about them. Maybe some don't. But in today's world, especially being a younger advisor, I mean, I'm used to that. It's been like that the entire time I've been in this industry. So, like, if you're talking about fees, great. But again, that is just part of the overall conversation. Like, for example, I had a client last week send me an email, just a very simple one-liner. It just said, Mike, it is a great relief to have you available for advice. So, a simple sentence like that makes my day. But it also shows that clients get, like, what clients get for their fees. I mean, I'm there for advice. I have clients that contact me if they want to buy a car. I have clients contact me if they inherit money. What should I do? If money's coming in, we can plan for that, so we're ready to go when the money hits the bank account. But don't get me wrong. Like, I, as an individual, with things that I buy, for those who know me, I'm fee sensitive. None of us want to get ripped off. But when you're educated on what you're getting for what you're paying, it makes the process a whole lot easier. And the same goes for investing and financial advice. So if someone just wants to pick their own stocks, build their own portfolios, be accountable for making mistakes, and manage their own retirements, then hey, there's a lot of platforms out there that allow you to do this. But I would look at the bigger picture, and it's just not fees. I mean, look at health, for example. Like, you could Google stuff and self-diagnose everything, but we all go to doctors. We trust professionals. We're not sent a bill. I mean, depending on what you get done at the doctors or surgery or whatever, but we do pay for it in our taxes. We all complain about high taxes, but look, when you break it down, look at what you get for your tax dollars. I mean, that could be a whole other video and create a whole other conversation, but like, we do need to pay for important things. But like I said, everybody's different. And if this is simply just not something that's worth it for you from a cost perspective, then, no one's forcing you to do it. And these commercials are trying to force people to change just based on one simple concept about lower fees, which I bet you, when you break it down, it's really not as much as what they say. But again, the bigger picture, when I work with clients, we do tax planning, we do estate planning, we do risk management, we do income planning. We also do savings planning. And those are just some examples of the things that I do with clients. If you think that saving a little bit on fees is going to get you that house you want, I hope you plan a bit better, because personal finance is like your health. It's always changing, and you need to adapt. You need somebody there with you along the way that can help you adapt. You get a new job, you lose a job, you get married, you have a kid, you inherit money, a spouse dies. There's a million different situations that could come up that could affect your finances. And in my opinion, having somebody there along the way to help you through all those, is it worth the fees? That's really up to you. So, I'm sure I'm not the only advisor that gets extremely frustrated that these companies are, to a certain degree, allowed to mislead their audience. But I just hope that after you watch this video, you have learned a little bit more about what's behind the scenes. I'm a very transparent advisor. I'm a very transparent person. So, I welcome discussions about this stuff. And, there's no perfect formula for anything. There's no one size fits all for everything. So when you do work with somebody, there's a little bit more flexibility because they're learning about you along the way. An app is not going to randomly text you and ask you, have you done estate planning? Or, I think somebody in your family passed away, so I think we need to connect. It just doesn't happen like that. When major events happen in my clients' lives, they contact me. We take a step back. How does it affect their situation? And then we make changes if there needs to be changes made. So this is a video I've wanted to do for a long time because, the more sports I watch, the more I see these commercials. But I would be more than happy to answer any questions about this information I discussed. And I encourage you to reach out if you have any. I'm a wealth of knowledge when it comes to personal finance, so please pick my brain if you have questions. I also want to throw in the disclaimer: if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. Hit the subscribe button and you'll be notified with updated content. So as I said, the weather's getting better. So I hope you're finding ways to stay active. And as you can see, I still need a haircut. So I'm waiting for the barber to open. I need to trim, these flowing locks. So thank you very much, as always, for tuning into this video. And until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay invested. Have a great day. Take care, everyone.